Peace of love, family. It's your boy Leon Wiz White. This is Planet Wiz, season 4, episode 6. Welcome. Where my people's at? Where my family at? Yeah. Where the family at?
When I wake up, no makeup, half naked, I feel like I'm the shit. Pardon my language, but hang-ups do not define the kid. No, I'm not flawless, I'm scarred up.
Peace, God, it's Miracle Emotion. Peace, Queen. Peace, welcome.
But I still sip tea and chant om and live free, cause hardships and heartbreaks turn to
peace, family. Peace. One Terrell Maurice. Peace, God. Peace, King. Chai _rare _ magic. Peace. Welcome, Queen. Welcome, Goddess. The Naked Mantra. Peace. Welcome. Aztec _333. Peace, Goddess. Welcome. Peace. Hey, Miracle Emotion. What it do? What's good? Peace. Welcome, family. Bring them out. Pull up on me tonight, family. Pull up. Hey, I'm doing wonderful. I'm doing amazing. Everything is up. I'm doing amazing. Gratitude for being here. Thank you. Aiden Hiru. Peace, God. Welcome, King. Welcome. Your energy is always a pleasure. Ashe. I appreciate that. Ashe. Gratitude for that. Hey, you know. You try to make the king blush. Thank you. Hey, I appreciate that. Skin glowing. Gratitude. That's wifey. You know, wifey. That's the goddess taking care, getting me together. Miracle Emotion. You already know we gonna shine. We light. We are light. We are always gonna shine. The light is always gonna win. Josie Montana. What's up, Queen? Peace. What up, brother Leon? What up? Hey, it's going down tonight. I'm excited about tonight. You see me? I'm kicking the screen. I am so excited about tonight. D Branch. Welcome. Peace, Queen. Welcome. Cali _Karma. Peace, Queen. Welcome. Wifey, what's up, baby? Peace, Goddess, peace. If I were you guys, trust me, go down to the bottom of your page, click the arrow, share this video with your friends and family. Some very great, some amazing information we're going to be sharing tonight. My brother from another, silent _rap. What's up, fam? Peace. Brother from another. How you feeling, fam? Big love to wife and respect. We thank and salute her. Ashe. Yeah, she be getting me together. And if I don't stay on it myself, she be on me too. She be like, what's up? You on it? What's up? Did you scrub today? Did you scrub today? Fam in the house, you already know. Trinity Trev, peace. Welcome. Redbone _rogue. Peace, God. Welcome, King. Welcome. Go down to the bottom of the page. I'm telling you guys, click that arrow. Share this video with your friends and family. We're going to be talking about an amazing, incredible experience tonight. And talking about DMT and just high vibrational conversation. You know, everything starts with a talk. And I'm excited tonight because I'm going to learn. And that's why I love the platform. Every time you guys come on, different guest speakers, they bring the funk, they bring the knowledge, they bring the truth. And I'm a student as well. I'm always a student. Pet _hey rule. Peace. Welcome. Peace. I know, Josie. I'm excited. You guys go share this with your friends and family. I'm telling you, tonight, let me cleanse the space for the goddess. We always give it about 10 minutes to welcome the family onto the show. Shauna Cherie, peace, goddess. Welcome, Queen. La Bina, I don't want to say that wrong. 2014, peace. Welcome. I don't want to say that wrong. So if I did, make sure you DM me with a voice message so I can get your name right. Because I think it's very important to get people's name correctly, pronounced correctly. So if I butchered that, my apologies. Hit me up. Goddess P, Queen. What's up, Queen? Peace, Goddess. Welcome. Oh, that's your cousin too, Shauna. Peace, Shauna. Peace. Let me go ahead and cleanse the space real fast for the goddess. We got about 5 minutes before we get going. Got about 5 minutes before we get going. Let's see. Thanks so much for the support. I love you all. Absolutely. It's a family affair up in here tonight. It's a family affair. Hey, baby, can you do me a favor and touch that heat like one notch down or something? It's a little hot. I know the energy. I know. No, just down one. Now, you don't have to turn it off. The energy is hot. You know what I'm saying? It's going down tonight. We're excited. Let me go ahead and cleanse the space for the goddess to come on here tonight. It's my job as the host to prepare the scene and get it right for the goddess, for the empress to come on here. Miracle Emotion, do me a favor and put your Cash App on here so I can pin it, please. Put your Cash App on here for me so I can pin it. Steph with 2 F's. Peace, peace. Welcome. Coach Nelson, what's up, King? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Peace. The no longer. Peace, peace. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Family. The family is pulling up tonight. Showing up tonight. Peace, family, peace. Do me a favor. Go down to the bottom of the page. Click the arrow. Share with your friends and family. We got some vital, some important information tonight that the family needs to be aware of. Right? Let me cleanse the space real fast for the Empress. Peace, peace. JD, what's up, God? Peace, King. Miracle Emotion, love you, girl. D. Brand says she loves you, Miracle Emotion. We get it smoke. Woo, look at that. Let's get that energy clean. Let me run my locks. Feel me? Get the locks together. Y'all know how we do it. Peace, peace. Go down to the bottom of that arrow. I'm telling you, share with your friends and family. We're going to get started in about 3 minutes, guys. You don't know your Cash App? She said, I don't know it. Galaxy Stone, what's up, God? Peace. Welcome, King. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Well, if your Cash App, your PayPal, if you know either one of them, pin it on there and I'll hit up the PMS bar show me love. I don't know what that is, but I'm going to pin it. They said we ready. They said we ready. Oh, yeah, it's going down in about 2.5 minutes. We give about 10 minutes to welcome the family, and then we get going. Oh, yeah, I feel the energy. It's going to be an amazing show tonight. Let me get a sip of this good water. Good H2O. Two minutes and we're going. P.Lard. Welcome, welcome. Pillar. Peace. Peace, God. Peace, Goddess. Peace, Queen. Peace, peace, peace. Welcome. If I said that wrong, just like the other person, if I said it wrong, I apologize. I do not like saying people's name wrong, so hit me up on the DM with a voice message, enunciation on the right way to enunciate your name, and I'll get it correct. I promise you. Creative Minds. Peace, God. Welcome, King. Welcome, welcome, family. Hey, you already know everything is great, God. Everything is great, family. You here, that's great. Everybody else here right now, that's great. We're going to get started in about 1 minute and 15 seconds. We're just blessing the space right now, raising the vibrations. All right, so we got about 1 minute before we get started, family. So for those that have been on the show before, and even those that are new, you guys can participate real fast before we get started. And we all know about energy. Energy is reciprocated. We love energy to be reciprocated, especially here on the show. So the speaker's coming on. Miracle Emotion is going to give us her energy. She's going to pour into us with her energy. So we got to give it back. We got to give it back. So let's raise those vibrations real fast. Let's hit the heart button like they're coming in. Let's raise the vibrations on the planet. Hit the heart button. Let's go down to the comment section. Let's put some hearts in the comment section. Let's go down to the comment section and put some muscle emojis in there. Let's go down there and put some stars in there. Let's give her some energy real quick. Let's give the guest speaker some energy, and she's gonna give it back. Trust. I see the hearts over there. There we go, family. Let's go. We got about 30 seconds before we get started. Let's get that energy. Let's give her that energy. Let's get it. There's another heart. I never done psychedelics. You want to, trust me. And after this show, you gonna want to. We're about to have a high vibrational conversation. It's going down. So trust me, trust me. There we go. Keep those stars coming. Keep those hearts coming. Give her that energy. Oh yeah, miracle motion is coming. It's coming, goddess. There it is. Give her that energy. Ooh, I know you feel it. All the way down there in Mako. Mako. Let's get started. Let's get started. Let's get started. Let's get started. She said, thank you, thank you, thank you. Even the heart button hadn't stopped since I said it. I love you guys. I love you guys. Ashe, Ashe. Once again, thank you guys so much for being here. My name is Leon Wiz White. I'm your host of Planet Wiz. Tonight is season 4, episode 6. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm gonna go over a couple things just so you guys know, especially those that are new. Everybody, thank you for sharing your amazing energy here with us tonight. But just if you want to stay in contact or stay connected with Planet Wiz, with the show, I would encourage you to go to my YouTube channel, which is Planet Wiz, 2 words, Planet Wiz. Over 90 videos on YouTube to help you with your spiritual guidance or just your spiritual journey, to be able to tap into a whole bunch of different energies from all around the world. And also just to be able to understand and hear different point of views and truths, because you know that's all we speak is facts on this show. We speak in truth. We don't have time for the cut and none of the fluff. And I'm sure you guys can respect that and you understand that and overstand that, right? So we do the show 3 days a week. We do it every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every Sunday tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? So I'm going to get myself out of the way. You also can keep up with the show on my YouTube. I'm sorry, my IG page as well. My IGTV has all the videos, and then on my Facebook as well, which is Leon Wiz White. Same profile name is here on IG. All right. So with that being said, let me get myself out of the way. I'm going to bring the goddess on the show. I'm excited about bringing this young lady on the show. When she first came on the show, actually, I'm going to let her tell that story. All I know is when she first came on here, it was kind of like a fluke accident. But we all know nothing happens on accident. Everything happens on purpose. So I'm excited that she did jump on the show. I had an open dialogue where I was inviting different people, the family, to come on and speak. She came on. Her energy was amazing. We connected right away. She also connected with my goddess as well. And then that's why we're here tonight. So I'm excited to bring on this divine feminine energy who is definitely connected to source, all the way tapped in, and just is an amazing person that loves to help people. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on the goddess to shine some light and share her story. Miracle in Motion. Give me 1 second, goddess, as I bring you on. Boom. All right, goddess, you should be here in about 3, 2, 1. Peace, queen. Peace, peace.
Peace.
Hi, everyone. Hi.
How are you?
Can hear me clearly?
I can. We can see you good. Can you see me?
Let's try to turn it and see if it stays. Am I sideways to y'all?
Yes, you
I'll
are.
be straight then.
You're
Thank
straight
you, family, friends. I'm so excited. Thank you for that awesome welcome. Thank you, everyone, for hopping in. I pray that you take something away from this experience. If you've never done any type of DMT or this particular type, I just want to tell you, you are in for a story. It is 100% true. And my friends have been begging me to tell this story since it happened. It'll be 1 year in February. It took me this long to process, and I'm still processing the trip. I mean, I'm still discovering, parts of and remembering parts of the trip. So for those of you who don't know, first of all, I just want to thank the platform, Leon Wiz White, and your wife B. You guys have embraced me from the beginning. I felt, speaking with your queen and yourself and just how you've embraced me, I feel I'm in a safe space. When I first did this experience, I had vowed that it was going to stay and I was going to leave it in the dirt. And only share some of the profound experiences with my children, my daughter, the womb shaman, who also owns the pmsbar.com that you see listed below. And that's how I initially connected, you know, with Leon, with Wiz. And so I was getting ready for bed. I was actually getting in bed, lights off, scarf on. You know how we do, ladies. I was getting in bed. Um, I turned on my Instagram, and I was going to check to see if my daughter had posted something about her business. And, you know, I like to check and like and so forth. And then I saw the live for Planet Wiz, and I clicked on it, and it was an open forum, and just the energy, the instant, I'm all about energy. Anyone who knows me knows energy, you can't fake it. And I just wasn't familiar with the platform. Even though I was following them, I wasn't as familiar with the live aspect of the platform. So I said, I'm gonna lay in bed, I'm gonna, you know, fall back, get under the covers, watch the show. And next thing you know, I'm called in, and I'm on the show. So, it
Isn't it
was
crazy? Isn't it
all
amazing how spirit works sometimes?
that's why I just went with it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna just hold this phone up so no one can see I'm in my pajamas. And I didn't care about the headscarf because we do what it do.
Facts.
We just vibed out and had a phenomenal vibe, a phenomenal conversation. And I'm so excited to be invited back.
Absolutely. One of the goddesses in here said that she said, Empress, you look amazing tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. Red is my favorite color. And it's part of this story, but you'll hear, you'll notice I have red is everywhere. Anyone who knows me knows I've always loved the color red. In fact, I got in trouble as a kindergartner because I wanted red Mary Jane's, and my mom said no. And I said, well, I'd rather not get school shoes if I can't get the red ones. And my dad came home and said, why she don't have no school shoes? I said, I wanted the red ones. Mommy wouldn't get them. And he said, get her the red shoes. So, you know, I'm fortunate enough that I grew up being able to be who I am and become who I am today. But one of the main reasons I wanted to talk about Bufo Alvarez, and most specifically 5-MeO DMT psychedelic, because it is the strongest psychedelic known. It's all
Mm.
purple. It comes out of the Colorado bullfrog. It's extracted, the poison. And so basically these frogs are underground. And when they come out, they have these nodules of poison on them. So when animals try to eat them or attack them, they die, right? It's just human nature. So shamans secrete the poison, doesn't hurt the frog, let it go on its merry way. They dry it, and then you smoke it or you vape it. And it's, I know some people have heard of like ayahuasca.
Mm.
Ayahuasca is one of the reasons I moved to Mexico. I've been living in Mexico about 3 years. I'm a health and wellness coach. I'm learning different Mayan healing techniques. I work with adults and seniors. I'm also in the process of putting together some trips here now for individuals that want to do the 5-MeO DMT Bufo Veris experience with my shaman in Merida. It's going to be called Journey of the Souls Retreat, so be on the lookout for that. Hopefully, you know, depending upon what COVID does and we get some kind of reprieve, that should be coming in the spring. So let's talk about how I got to 5-MeO DMT. So I had been here in Mexico. I came to do ayahuasca, which ayahuasca is a plant medicine. So they take 2 different plants, one from a tree, one from like the ground, plant medicine. They boil it, you drink it, and you have an experience. Ayahuasca is typically over several days, right? It's a lot of purging. Some people see God, some people see pharaohs. I mean, I haven't done it yet, but it was one of the reasons, that and Chitzania, and I'm drawn to, you know, alien type civilizations. I'm drawn to Mayan culture, and you know, I like to think, you know, I'm a star child. So a friend, a very good friend of mine, who you'll hear about in this story as well, Shauna. My job had closed down after over 15 years. Click of a button, project manager was like, we don't need you guys anymore. They closed 31 locations. And I was like, okay, I'm out of the US. Where am I going? My friend suggested Playa del Carmen. I had been to other places, but not Playa. And as I was packing up my home, I was watching History Channel, Ancient Aliens, and they were talking about Pacao and Chichen Itza, talking specifically about this area. So it just, there are no coincidences. So I knew that kind of sealed the deal. I was coming to Playa. My first week here, I met some young ladies who had just did ayahuasca and some other like peyote, and which is like a form of like a cactus, psychedelic, and there's all different types. And so throughout my time here, I've had the opportunity to partake in various psychedelics, but it just didn't feel right. I wasn't ready. And it's one of those things that you shouldn't be talked into it. You definitely need to be mentally prepared, physically prepared, because you don't know. It's like anything else. You don't know how you're going to respond. So I'll just, turn it down. No, I'm not ready. I knew when the time came, I would know. So a friend that I had recently met said to me, hey, my friend is coming in February and he's been studying this thing, and I'm sure she probably said Bufo, but at the time, I think I was like smoking weed. I was high. I'm not sure. I didn't really catch it, right? All I heard was shaman and a great experience and, in the woods. And I'm like, February, something, and it's a month or so off. I'm like, yeah, count me in. Count me in. Fast forward to the week of the event, she hits me up and she's like, hey, this Saturday, we're going to go meet the shaman. We're going to do this experience. And I was like, okay, cool. I had my white, you had to have a white dress on, white outfit, whatever, because it's purity. And Saturday morning came. And now, mind you, on Netflix, on Amazon Prime, there were different, stations showing different types of like psychedelic experiences. I would literally flick through channels and see like Goop, Gwyneth Paltrow's Goop was doing a whole psychedelic and Tales from the Trip, and I didn't look at any of it, which is crazy because normally you stop on something like that, but my spirit guides know me well, so they had me pass it, right? I didn't look at any of it. So come Saturday morning, I wake up and I'm like, do I feel like doing this today? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if I feel like, because we had to take a bus 40 minutes to this private area in the woods. And then the gentleman, the shaman's going to meet us and then drive us to this special area. So something was like, just go. I mean, at the end of the day, you'll meet a shaman, make some great connections. This is what you came here for. What can it hurt? You're not doing anything today. So I said, okay, got my white dress. We get on the bus, we go, he pick us up. They're in the front, her and him, my friend and the shaman. In the back is myself and her friend who had studied this medicine. This experience was for him. This whole thing was set up for him. So he's psyched, like he's sitting back there, like he's like, get right, and I'm just sitting back. So in my mind, I had just finished smoking a little weed. So I'm thinking, at the very least, I'm going to go last, whatever we doing, so that way I can see what we doing. If I'm in, I'm in. If I'm not, I just want to take on the experience, meet some cool people, whatever. We get to this beautiful place in the woods. I mean, we went down. I mean, it was something like, Raiders of the Lost Ark, like, cell phone signal. So we going, that was one clue. I'm like, okay, no cell phone signal. Nobody knows I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Met this girl. I've known her like a few months, and I don't know either of these guys, but I'm like, I'm a spirit, right? So we going, I mean, I'm talking, I didn't even see the road. That's how the bush animals and birds and vines and trees, and we're going around, and it's, you know, I'm thinking we're literally going into like the bowels of the jungle. And eventually we get to a space where it's this beautiful open clearing where you could tell they were still renovating. So the soil was like potting soil, you know. It was soft. It was like you could squeeze it, and like the kind, you know, you got, you know, you digging in your fresh garden, or you know, you got that soil. It just felt fluffy, and it smelled good, and had like little flicks of like colors, and it was just the most beautiful soil. And then all the trees, and then the grass was starting to grow in certain areas. They had rocks set up. Again, this was an area they were just starting to develop. So we sitting down our stuff. He told us what to bring, water, things like that. So he goes off. He's setting up, you know, the blankets and everything. So while he's setting up and he's playing this amazing music, like, and I have the soundtrack, which I'm so glad. I listen to it when I meditate, but it's this amazing music. I'd never heard this type of music before. So he's setting up. So my friend who set this up said, okay, guys, listen, do you guys mind if I go first? And I'm like, in my mind, we got a tribute. You know, I'm like, I'm like, yeah, girl, you could go first. Like, because in my mind, I'm like, thank you. You know, so in my mind, she's going to go first. He's going to go second. I'm going to go last if I feel like it, right? So we already had everything set up. So the shaman comes over, and I had already said, I knew I would know once I was in his presence if I was doing anything, because again, it's all about energy. So when he pulled up to the bus station to pick us up, I instantly knew whatever we're doing, I'm in. I felt it. I felt something with him that I've never felt with even like a pastor, and I grew up in the church. But I felt a connection to this man that I can't explain. So I knew from then, whatever we were doing, I was pretty much in, right? So then he comes over, and he, you know, gives us he blows this, it's like a tobacco rape, and it's like wooden like stick, and blows it in your nose, and it's like it's how you're supposed to ingest tobacco. You're not really supposed to smoke it. So it gives you like this calming effect, which is great, because I was feeling a little anxious, you know. The weed high was starting to come down, so I was like, okay, the rappy, but it burned, so I wasn't really feeling that aspect of it. But I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go along with it. And then he came over and gave us each a little, you know, like shot glass of the nectar of the gods. And it's, you know, it's pink. It's I can't think of the name of it right now, but it's the nectar of the gods, basically. And so it didn't have a bad taste. It just, you know, we drank that down. And I just felt really calm. And I was like, okay, you know, this is nice. And I'm like kind of leaning over, and I could see the gravel, the white gravel's kind of like vibrating a little bit. And I'm like, wow, interesting, you know. And there's trees all around us. I mean, trees. We were in the jungle, like if somebody just dropped you out of a helicopter and you just fell in the middle. It was the most beautiful space, like the most beautiful, raw, like untouched space. So the music's playing, the scene is set, everything's laid out, and then he walks over and he goes, okay, Kimberly, you're first. And I was like, wait, what? Wait. Actually, and he's like, no, you're first. And I didn't fight it. I just was like, okay, I guess this is what we're doing. I don't know. Again, my ancestors know me well. So I am going first now. So I walk to the blanket that's set out. My friend, she comes with me. She's sitting behind me, like my support. And then he explains to me that in this little glass pipe, there's these little flecks that look like shaved soap, but they're kind of like tan. And he's explaining everything to me. He's like, I'm going to light this. And when I light it, this glass bulb is going to fill up with smoke, and you're going to suck it in as hard as you can. Right. And my friend's laughing because she's like, you know, she smoked weed. She got this, you know, da da da. So we're sitting Indian style. The music's playing, you know, I'm feeling relaxed. Now, right before I did the smoke, he had me read a mantra, so I don't want to leave that out. We each read this mantra, giving honor to God, to divine, and that's one thing I just want to make sure that I preface before I say anything else, because it could sound, it will probably sound a little scary some parts, but every part of this, every intent of this experience was divine. And so we started off with a mantra and a prayer to ancestors, to divine, to light. So I felt very comfortable about the smoke. I didn't know what it was I was about to smoke, right? So he said, your brain is going to tell you you can't take any more, but I want you to keep going. The goal is to take 3 strong pulls as hard as you can take, right? So I'm still, I don't know, I just, you know, afterwards thinking back, I was like, bitch, are you crazy? But in that moment, I felt safe. I felt trusting. And I just was ready. I was like, what is this? You know, it was billowing up at this point. So I was like, well, shit, let's get it. You know, let's go. He put the pipe, he's lighting it. I sucked and pulled on that pipe, on that smoke. And everything after this is all been told to me, because very much of it do I remember. I remember the feeling. I remember the feeling of my eyes popping open. And my friend said to me, she was like, bitch, you was straight, get out. You was straight, get out. And that was like literally, I was trying to pull up this video real quick. That was like literally all I remembered. The best way I can equate it is your body. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm gonna put it up to the screen.
Yep, we can. We can see it.
This is what I saw when I inhaled that smoke. This is the closest depiction that I could find visually to explain what I experienced. And this doesn't even scratch the surface.
I see.
You see how fast that's going?
Mm-hmm.
That's literally how fast it happens. That's literally how you feel, just like you see it.
How did that feel when you were having that amazing experience?
I felt like I was going to have a massive heart attack.
Wow.
I was so gripped in fear because I was like, what the hell have I just taken? And this is just how I was going. See how fast it's going?
Yes.
But all these visions were my visions, my memories, my stories, my people, my images, things I saw, things I experienced, trauma, death. I saw things that I saw I saw images and people and places, because you don't realize what's stored. You don't realize that you all those imprints, all the things that you see every day stays in your brain. It's just what you choose to access. So in that moment, I fall back, which is why he had her behind me, and my eyes flew open. And when I tell you it was like The Exorcist,
Mm-hmm.
I just started purging. I just started purging. I just started purging, vomiting. It wasn't even like food. It was like, I promise you, it was something like The Exorcist. It was the craziest feeling. But the interesting part was when all those geometrics and all that was happening, my consciousness shot instantly within seconds out of my body. I was now out of my body. And it's kind of like near-death experiences when people say they're above themselves in a hospital room and they can see them being worked on. It was a similar effect. Like I could see my body in white, in the dress, in the ground, in the dirt, spinning. I'm spinning in the dirt. I'm spinning in the dirt like a clock, like an arm on a clock, spinning, 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 digging in the dirt, racking, vomiting, screaming. I'm screaming. And then I remember, and I can't remember if this is the second time or the third time, but my friend told me I took 3 pulls. I can only remember 2. The first one, and then there was a moment where I said to the shaman, my ego, I can hear myself saying, my ego's trying to control this moment. My ego's trying to control this moment. My ego. And then he made me take another pull, and that was the last thing I remember until I came out of the experience. Let me tell you something. I just remember seeing this blackness, and I remember reading this book by this doctor, this neuroscience, who died. He had neuroscience, he had neurosurgery, and he died, and he came back and talked about his experience. He talked about the earthworm stage. And that's the closest thing that I could equate. It's like feeling like you were in the earth. You feel like you're an earthworm. And when people talk about heaven and hell and things like that, it's one place. There's levels to it, though, for sure. So
Right.
someone that's deeds, you've done your deeds and you where you need to be, you're gonna be at a different level. But if you're somebody that's done dirt and you've hurt and you got more lessons to learn, your levels are gonna be lower. And so I started out in this lower level. It's just kind of like that Christmas movie where they take him and he get to see his past, present, future. It was kind of like that. So I got to see in this lower level, and I got to feel all the negative words that you speak. Or when people talk about words are powerful, it's the truth. The word you speak to your children, the word you speak to yourself, to your friends, to your family. I got to see all that negativity. I got to feel what animals feel when they are slaughtered for food. I got to feel that pain of what happens to their souls and their spirits when they're being killed. I got to see like past lives, like past traumas, like my parents, like I got to see like deaths. You know, when I was a kid, I used to never tell people this, and very few people know this about me, but as a kid, every night in my sleep, in my dreams, I died. Every night as a kid, I died. Some horrific, horrible death. And it was so scary that I never even told my parents, right? I got to see in this experience everything. And as my friend Shauna Cherie says in her book, Black Gypsy, you follow the breadcrumbs. I got to see the breadcrumbs. This experience showed me all my brokenness. It's like you take a beautiful glass and you throw it on the ground, beautiful crystal. You know, I love crystals. All the pieces are still beautiful, but they're broken. And I didn't realize I was a whole broken person, having kids and a marriage and relationships. I didn't realize that I was not only carrying my ancestral trauma, I was still carrying my own trauma, because I grew up in a household where my father was an alcoholic and beat on my mom. And although I was the youngest, the baby, my mom went in for surgery, didn't know she was pregnant. I was inside of her. So I was born at 1 pound, 11 ounces. So I've been fighting battles all my life. But I got to see my dad's trauma and how his demons. I got to see so many things. One of the most profound parts of this experience that a lot of people don't know about me, and that I haven't shared with most people that know me, you have to really be close to me to know, that when I was 9 years old, my mom shot my father and killed him. And my dad, whenever he was abusive to my mom, he would never be abusive to her if I was home. So whenever he was home and he was drinking, he was alcoholic, she would do my hair. So she would always do my hair, and he would, go quiet down, sleep it off. When my dad was shot by my mom by the gun that he bought her, because she worked as a nurse and sometimes got home late and had to walk, and so he wanted to make sure she was protected. In my mind, in my 9-year-old mind, when as my dad was leaving his physical body, he brought me to the scene.
Wow.
And as a 9-year-old child, trying to explain this to people, everyone thought I was nuts. So whenever I would tell this story, I told it from first person, because I promise you, I could taste the blood, I could feel the skin, I was there. And so it really alienated me from my family. Because everyone's like, this girl's crazy. Like, she wasn't there. I was with my older brother. No one could convince me of anything different. I was there. I tasted it. Okay. So I'm telling you all this so you understand in the Bufo story. I get through all this darkness. I see all this darkness. I see the alcohol demon, which is why they call it spirit. So when you drink alcohol, it opens up your energy and it lowers your vibration. So these entities can enter you. And that's why when people say, oh, he killed all these people, or he beat his wife, he wasn't himself. He wasn't himself. He had demons. My dad had demons in him. So I never told anyone, that I was having these nightmares. When my mom shot and killed my father, I was taken away. My mom went to jail. She ended up being acquitted. Thank God, because she was a battered woman. But in the midst of that, while I was away, my mom's sister, twin sister, took me to this place. Me and my cousin were all dressed up. We running in this place, and I run up to the end. It's quiet. It's like a church. I'm like, I'm in a church. So I run up to the end of the, because we're kids, we get a minute alone. We're gonna play games. I run up to the end, and there's my dad dead in a casket. I didn't even know my dad was dead. I had never seen a body in a casket before. And that was the moment where my brain and my consciousness completely shattered. I lost every memory of my father. I couldn't even remember the sound of his voice. I couldn't remember any memories. It erased every memory. And I'm a daddy's girl. It erased every memory of my father. I had no counseling. We didn't even talk about it. Black families, we just gonna keep it moving. Mm-hmm. So mom got out of jail. I went back home. No one asked me, how am I doing? I'm a book reader. So I just continued reading books and hiding my trauma and stuffing down my trauma. I never told anyone that there was an entity. I felt it every night there was an entity that always came into my room, no matter whether I was in my house, if I spent the night at a friend's house, it was always entity. I never spoke on it. I'm going through this Bufo virus. I'm going through this muckety muck, and it just feels like just you don't want to be there, right? And then after I get out of this muck, you start to come up into, it's like a portal. It's like a shoot. You just shoot into this portal, and then it's like all this like geometric. It's like, but you're you, but you're not. You feel like you, but you're not in your physical body, but you feel like you. You're your soul, but it feels everything like you. When I shot up, I was able to look down and see my physical body on the ground in the grass decomposing.
Wow.
This was the ego death. My ego was dying with my physical body. I watched bugs eat my body. I'm decaying. And there's this woman beside me. She's screaming at me. Screaming, and I don't know this woman. This woman is like, she was beautiful, chocolate black woman. I was like, and my part of me is like, yes, because you know she had an afro, she had like red, she was just beautiful, but her voice was scary as fuck. Because she was, because I just balled up in a ball because all the images, and when I say the images, I'm talking my own accountability, my own Akashic records, all the lies, all the bullshit, just all of it, all the men, all the bad decisions, just you see it all. And I just curled up in a ball and I was screaming for my mom, and my mom came and she was holding me, and I couldn't see her, but you know your mom ain't nothing like your mom's embrace. And I can literally feel her and smell her holding me. And I just kept screaming. But this woman was standing here, and if I leaned forward, she would never be either. She stayed directly beside me, whether I move, no matter how I move. This is what we've been waiting for. This is what we've been waiting for. She's screaming this, trying to get my attention, because I'm like, fuck this. I'm scared. I don't know what's happening. I just want it to end. And then it was like a light bulb moment went off. And it was like, bitch, they about to find your black ass dead. And this is the ego, dead, because it's decaying, it's leaving, but it's trying to hold on because you build it. This ego was trying, it was showing me everything. It was showing me Instagram. It was showing me all the things that we use for ego. It was showing it all to me. All the houses I used to have, all the luxury cars I used to care about. It was showing it all. And then I was like, okay. And I got scared, and my ego was like, they're gonna find your dead black ass in the woods with these 3 white people in Mexico. Like, you done it now. Like, I just was like, I was so terrified. But then my consciousness took over and was like, if this is how you gonna go, if this is how you gonna die, let's do it. Let's leave it. Let's clear for everybody. And it was like that consciousness, because I've been doing work on myself. I like to think I've made some progress, but, you know, I was not ready for this level of work. And that's when I just was like, that's it. Let's leave it all in the dirt. And I just was like digging in that soil, digging, screaming, fighting, crying, purging. I had on a dress just like this, but it was white. By the end of it, I was naked. I was completely naked, digging in the dirt. I had literally dug a grave. I was digging in the dirt. I had dug so deep. I was screaming. I was vomiting. I was purging. And I just was screaming, this is for everything. This is for all of it. And when I tell you, it felt so good to just reset, just let it all go. Just pull off the mask and just let it all, and I let it rip. I vomited my life out, and she's screaming at me. I'm telling you, I don't know who. I had never seen this woman before, and I kept saying if I ever saw her again or heard her voice, I would know, but I didn't recognize her. And I'm vomiting and I'm screaming, and I could see, and I was just like, I need my ancestors. And I just start calling on my ancestors. I'm a child of God, you know. My mama put it in me, it's been in me. And I said, I just need my ancestors. And the best way I could describe it is like the movie Predator, when he's up in the trees and he's clear, but you could still see him. My ancestors came all around me, and they were clear. They were clear, but I could see if they were male, female, adults, children, and they surrounded me, and the vibration that they gave me and the permission that they gave me to set my soul and my family soul and my mom, my grandma, my great grandma, my daughter, like we let it all go. It was guttural. It was deep down, nasty, guttural. I mean, I was screaming and digging in the dirt and fighting and just letting any anger, any angst, all the tears, I just let it all out for everybody, screaming, rolling in the dirt. And but and again, I'm still, you know, seeing everything. At this point, I had dug a hole, so I'm laying now in the hole, and it's like it's like a calm, and it's like when you see in the movie, it's like all these like lights, and it's like being in the universe and being a star. And it was like after I had gotten it all out, I saw my ancestors step forward, and they showed me my daughter. And I don't want to get teared up, but they showed me my daughter, the one who has the PMSbar.com. They showed me her, and I knew she was a little older because she had just started growing out her locks. And in this vision, her locks were on her shoulders, which is where they are now, I must say. And they showed me and told me that they sent her through to save me, to save us, and to do the business that she is currently doing. They gave me the confirmation. They told me everything I needed to share with her and let her know she's got the right thing at the right time with the right energy, and that's why they sent her through this time. And I had stories about her from time she was 5 years old that I just never made the connection of why she came here and what the reasons were. But they showed me, and they showed me why. I also got to see one of my really good friends, Shauna, who's in the room, how years ago, her talking to me about her wanting to sell everything and travel the world, which is how, you know, Black Gypsy came about, because it's about her traveling all over the world. And I remember her coming to me saying, you know, what do you think? Should I do this? You know, I don't really want to have kids right now. I really want to travel. And I was like, do it. Go for it. You're young. Go for it. And in this experience, they showed me that conversation with her was to lead me here, and how all the breadcrumbs, like she says in the book, all the breadcrumbs connect. It was mind blowing. And then the peace when they, you know, like I said, I grew up in a church, and I've heard words like omnipotent, right? Divine. But when you feel, I heard that Steve Jobs' last words, his sister said his last words were, wow, wow. And I understand why. Because laying there when I say face down, I had dirt in my eyes. I had dirt in my nose, in my mouth, in my ears, every orifice. I was completely naked, dirt. I was down in the dirt. I mean, down. I could feel bugs crawl. I didn't. And then all of a sudden, it was just this calm, this peace, and this vibration. And I was literally connected to everything. When I say everything, the bug that was crawling on me was me. Everything, the grass, the dirt, the soil, the trees, it was one. I wasn't separate from it. We were all one. It was one. The best way to describe it is, imagine if everything in the world was clear and you submerged it in water. Would you be able to tell the difference? Right? That's really what it is. We say this is a lip gloss, this is a chair, this is we create this reality, but in truth, everything is really clear like that. Everything is all connected. These chairs, all this stuff has energy. Everything has energy, but we create this separation. We create this drama and this stress because there's energy in this trauma. It feeds certain entities when people are fighting. That's why we're at in the world today. But I know for a fact that the divine connected us because we are the light bringers and the light givers, and we're going to raise this vibration and take this planet back. Okay, right. They will not take these souls. Okay, and so I'm laying there, and the peace, the best way I could describe it is like, if you take like the tiniest like grain of sand, like the tiniest little granule, and that's you, and everything else in the entire world, in entire existence, is God. And when I felt that feeling, I promise you on everything, I was like, I'm good. This is it. Like, I was so good. I wanted to stay. I wanted to stay so bad. I'll never ever try to put a label on the divine again. I'll never try to have an understanding of God. All I know is that it's within me. And we all have different fingerprints for a reason. We just have to figure out what that reason is and why we're here. Right. But the love of God for all of us, no matter what you think you've done, no matter what sins you think you've committed, no matter how you think you are unlovable, you are not. That you can't even fathom. You can't even quantify the love of God. And in this experience, I got to feel the love of God. And I cried for so long. I cried so long, I pulled a chest muscle because I couldn't believe it. The feeling of it. And I just was like, I just needed one thing. The last time I saw my dad, I was 9 years old. And when I was a little girl, and I used to sit on my dad's lap, he used to work the steel mills, and he'd come home, he'd save a little coffee for me. I'd drink a little bit of coffee in his, thermos at night, and he would always say, who loves you? And I used daddy because I was a daddy's girl, and I get, my dad did some very bad things. And I know for a fact that his spirit had never been set free. His soul, he was the bad guy, My dad grew up with 13 brothers and sisters, and he was that dude that some shit's going down. Oh, that's that's who you calling. He's the one that's gonna come and lay it down, whether he got to do the head knuckles or he got to blaze. My dad was that dude, you know what I'm saying? So I get it, and I feel like his soul was never at peace. And I just said, please, God, I just want to see my dad. Like, I hadn't seen my dad in over 40 years. And even up until this point, every time I try to conjure a memory of my father, I just could see the casket. I couldn't remember his voice. Even if I look at a photo, I couldn't see it. And I just asked God for please, just let me see my dad. My dad walked from behind me and came in front of me, and he was clear all the way up to the waist, like to here. And it was all clear, but you could see the body, but it was clear. I could see the trees through his body. And he was holding the hand of a little girl. And I could tell she was a little girl, but she was completely clear. She was little, probably 2. She was little. I didn't know. I thought it was me. I didn't know. But then his upper body started becoming him. And he still had his back to me, and he's holding a little girl's hand. And he looks back at me and he said, "Who loves you?" And all my memories and all, it just all came flooding back. And like,
yeah, that's powerful. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let it ride. Let it ride. See, we gotta embrace that too, because that's normal. Crying is normal.
like, I get he's the bad guy, but he's my dad, you know, and I wanted to set his spirit free. You know, I wanted to set his soul free. And I said, I forgive you, Daddy. I love you. I miss you. I needed you. And, you know, he wasn't there to walk me down the aisle when I got married. He wasn't there when I had my children. He wasn't there for anything. But I got it all back. It all came back. And I got to have peace. And he walked on, and his body became clear, and he joined everyone else. And, you know, and then I just laid back, and I opened my eyes, and all I saw was white butterflies, like just, and you see I have butterflies all over my place. Like, my mom always loved butterflies. I'm obsessed with butterflies. All I could see was all these butterflies. It was like, and they were all white. They were all white, and they were all, I couldn't believe it. And I just laid there, and I just cried, and I just thanked God. And I just allowed myself to feel, for the first time in 40 years, to just feel sad for my dad, feel sad for my mom, for the trauma that she went through. But I'm telling you, during this experience, I was able to heal the trauma of the women that came behind me and the trauma of the women that come after me. This I know, and this I saw. And I'm so grateful for, you know, my friends and my family who, you know, support me in sharing and telling this story, because as you can see, it's very personal to me. But it changed my life. I will never be the same, in a very profound, beautiful way. I will never be the same. And when I finally came out of the experience, I was filthy. And I set up, like, you know, because we took private transportation, we took a bus, and then remember the shaman picked us up. So when I finally set up and I'm looking at myself, I'm like, whoo, I'm gonna need private transport home, y'all. And the guy, he was laying on the guy whose experience this was, he's laying on the other blanket like this, and he didn't do it. He was like, yeah, nah, it ain't for me. This was his experience. And my friend, she kind of sort of tried it, but she didn't really inhale. Again, after seeing what I went through, and I told him when I came to, I said, listen, my ancestors, you know, I come from slaves. I come from deep, long root, you know, of pain and trauma, and we needed to clear some things. My bad, y'all, but we needed to do. And the shaman told me that's why he chose me to go first. He said, because the minute he came into my presence, my spirit guides told him, if she doesn't go first, she will not go.
I already knew his spirit guides connected with yours. I already knew.
And he saw my dad. And the crazy thing is we saw him at the same time, which was interesting, because the woman was here, and I'm gonna tell you who she is. I didn't find this out till months later. She was here. The shaman was here. When my dad walked around, I looked at him. We looked at, like, we both saw, because he takes the medicine with you, so he's immersed in it with you. We saw his energy at the same time. It was such a beautiful experience, just to be able to lay and think and pray for my dad and talk to my dad. And I feel that my dad's spirit has been lifted. That night, and when I finally got home, all night I couldn't sleep, because I kept seeing an entity clear, kept coming to my bedroom door, like checking on me kind of thing, checking on me. And I was so fearful because, again, I grew up at a time where you didn't really talk about things like this, you know, because people be like, she crazy, you need to 302 her ass, you know. So I was scared, and I'm texting the shaman like, I'm seeing entities, like, because I always felt it, but I never saw it. And he told me, he said, that is your father saying goodbye. And he's been following you all these years. That was him. And that was the last time I felt that entity. And it was the last time that I saw it. And it made me so sad. It made me so sad because all these years, I've been so afraid. And if I had just one person in my life, which is why I'm telling this story, because if I just had one person in my life say, that might not be a bad thing. You know, when spirits visit us, it's not because they're here to harm us, you know, but I didn't have anyone that I could tell what I was experiencing. And all the deaths and all the dying, those were past lives. I was seeing all my past lives growing up. Every night I died in my sleep every night. After that, you know, it stopped happening. Once I started meditating, and that stopped happening like in my 30s. And I called on God, and I just said, listen, I don't want to be afraid anymore. I don't know what this is, but I know I'm a child of God, and I know I'm protected. I don't want to walk in fear, and I don't want to sleep and dream fear. And it could be, you know, my psychiatrist, because of course, as an adult, had to get a psychiatrist because never got anything as a kid. And I want to be a whole, healthy human being, right? And so in therapy, I learned that, you know, because I suffered trauma violently, that I was creating that trauma. But also when I had my therapist who does past life regressions let me know that those were other lives as well, and I was melding the two because my young brain was broken and was fragmented by the experience of seeing my dead dad in a casket. But needless to say, you know, I've made peace, you know, with the family member who did that, because I never spoke to her again after that because I was angry at that. And I've made peace with everything because at the end of the day, it's all about love. There's going to be another great event, and that's what people are not understanding. And I feel like that's where we're at right now. You know, another big event is coming, and I feel like this consciousness and this awakening is happening for us to be able to be ready for the next phase. And the next phase is elevation. But you can't get there if you're stuck in this physical body. If you're so stuck on how I look and what I have and what someone thinks, or, you know, the next plan, like, not to say you're not supposed to work and grind, of course, all those things, but those can't be your temples. You know, if you're not connecting to God, and I used to never think I could meditate because, you know, I'm a classic A personality. I'm always, you know, my brain is constantly going. But I can't imagine my life now without meditation. I meditate most of my days. If I'm not working, I'm meditating in some form or fashion. I meditate in the shower. I meditate in bed. I meditate waiting in line. Like, I'm connecting every chance I get, because after I did the Bufo also, now prior to doing the Bufo meditating, my third eye only opened one time for a brief moment. I was meditating, and all of a sudden I was like in a room. And I was like, but my eyes were shut. And I was like, what? Yeah, but so then once my consciousness realized that it's my third eye, I came out of it, and I could never get back to it. Ever since I've done the Bufo, it's not even meditation anymore. I go into other dimensions every single time I meditate. I see family history. I see some things in the future. I see things now even when I'm awake. It's kind of, you know, scary a little bit sometimes, but I'm still wrestling with that, because sometimes I'll see entities, you know, move. Kind of freaks me out a little bit. But I don't think all of that was because I did the Bufo. I think a lot of it is because I'm an empath, I'm an intuitive, and those things were already in me. But the Bufo brought it out so that I can embrace it. You know what I mean? But I highly recommend it. But do your research, because you don't know how it's going to affect you. I mean, my shaman told me he's done almost 2,000 of these Bufo experiences, and I'm the only person that's had this kind of reaction. The only. I've watched hundreds of videos. Most people are just like, you know, they're waking up, hugging people, you know, love and light. That was not my experience. I mean, I was loving light at the end. I was like, oh my God, I love you guys. But it was a whole lot of other steps before I got to that. So when you watch videos on YouTube about Bufo virus, that might be your experience, but just know it may not be. And if you decide you want to do it, you know, you can reach out to me. If you come to Mexico, like I said, Journey of the Souls retreats. I have someone here, a great facilitator, my shaman that I work with, has his own retreats out in Merida. He has a space now, beautiful space where, you know, people can come and stay and for a couple days and really work on themselves and heal yourself. And here in Mexico, they even have children, teenagers. I mean, this is a medicine that is billions of years old. Like, it's part of their culture here. And so to be able to be a part of this community and really learn about plant-based medicines and really how to heal yourself from your DNA out, it has been transformative. It has been enlightening. It was terrifying. It was funny. It was every kind of emotion. And then next day I had to go to the doctor because my chest hurt. I vomited so bad I pulled a muscle. So I go to the doctor and she's like, well, what's going on? And she pushing. She's like, well, it's not a heart attack because it wouldn't hurt when I push. And I was like, okay, I did Bufo. She's like, it's so common here. She's like, okay, no more Bufo. Like, you're good for a while, okay? Like, no more Bufo for a while, you know. But you know, so it's been a year, and for my 1-year anniversary, I'm actually going to do it again.
I was going to ask you, when are you planning on doing it again?
In February. I'm going to videotape it this time.
February what? I'm
not sure, because I have to see what day my shaman is available, but I want to try to do it on the same day. And I think it was either February 11th or February 22nd. It was one of those planetary days that just happened to line up right. So I'm actually going to reach out to him tomorrow because I'm going to do it again. And this time I'm going to videotape the whole thing so I can share it.
Now that's going to be super powerful. Wow. So
any questions? If anyone has questions, I mean, there's nothing off the table, anything you want to know. I'm an open book. I'll tell it like how it is.
So I do have a couple questions in here for you guys. So let me go ahead and pull one up. Let me know if you can't read them. I'll read them for you.
Did I mention something? Oh, sorry. Did I mention something about a retreat? Yes, I did mention because of COVID, I've kind of had to slow things down. I'm also in the crystal energy healing and things of that nature. So my shaman and I were working on retreats. So we're looking for spring, but we're going to do small groups, 2, 4, 6, 8, and maybe get up to 12, 24 once COVID is kind of. But right now I'm going to do people who are kind of in their own pod, people who know each other. So you're not rooming with strangers. But right now the lodging is single king size bed. So you wouldn't be in a room with anyone else. You know, they obviously have COVID protocols, but the space isn't big enough to do large groups yet. So I'm still working with some other resorts here. I also want to make it affordable again. But yes, please, you know, follow me. My page is private. You know, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit. Request me, I'll accept you. And everyone that's on this live, if you not a current friend of mine, request me tonight and I'll add you tonight. But I'm very particular about the energy and who I share with, even electronic, digital. It's still the same. So I'm so honored to have been here, and I can take another question.
Let's see. We got another one.
Which psychedelic to try first? Here's the thing. You know, they call Bufo the God molecule because literally, I promise you, it's instant. You shoot, you feel it. They say it happens twice. When you're born and when you die, it occurs naturally in your body. When you're coming into your physical body and when you're leaving your physical body, it occurs naturally. So when you ingest it, you literally shoot out. So if this is your first time, that might be a bit much. So I would say ayahuasca, I'm not sure. I haven't done it, but I know I have friends who've done it. I don't like purging for days, and a lot of times ayahuasca, which is a plant medicine, it's like you drink it, it's over several days of purging. And for me personally, I can't be purging for several days. So I would try something maybe like peyote, or mushrooms, something that you can control the quantity and go light. The facilitator matters. So just make sure, you check out, who the facilitator is. If you're coming to Mexico, again, I have people that do all of the psychedelics. They do everything from cacao ceremonies, peyote, they do it all. So, but yes, I would start with something light, do your research. You want to do and go into anything with the intention of, what this is for, to connect with God, and to learn things. Make sure your diet's on point, because they say, like, for the 5-MeO DMT, the frog medicine, you're supposed to like not drink alcohol, not like do any like drugs, weed or anything, like not have sex. Like, I think there's like a list of things. I think I had did all the things like probably the night before. Like, I'm not kidding. So like I think that too added to why my experience was like fucking bananas. So again, do your research and make sure that you're going into it pure mind, body, and soul. Do not be like me, because I was just like, yeah, we just going, go in the woods with a shaman. That is not the way to do it. It's not the way.
We got some more questions for you guys. So on this one, I can't read the entire thing. You might be able to.
Living in Mexico for a long time. Do I have any tips on moving? Yes. So I originally was only going to stay here for 3 months. And then I was going to go to Colombia, and then I was going to Thailand, like, indefinitely. But like I said, there's a vibration here in Mexico that I came here and was like, it's the pyramids, it's the Aztec, like what you see me wearing here. This is Aztec flintstone. It's flint and it's from the Aztec jungle. Like, everything I wear is these are seeds from a tree here. Everything that I wear, all of my jewelry is all, made here in Mexico, amber, agate. So I got here and decided to stay. You don't need a lot to live here. I mean, with COVID and everything right now, it's going to be difficult to get back and forth in the States. But if you work from home, it's easy to live here.
Ashe. Let's see.
What is God to me? Everything. Everything I see, smell, touch. There isn't anything that isn't. Like, there just isn't. There isn't anything that isn't God. Like, I wake up in the morning and the first thing I say is thank you. Like, that's literally my first words before I open my eyes. I just say thank you. And after this experience and having felt what it feels like, it's not some person in the sky looming over. It is everything, everywhere, in the entire universe, everything that you can conceive, everything that you think you can conceive, including the black hole you can't see, is God.
Facts.
And I felt it. I felt it. And when I felt it, it was, the vibration was so strong. And even when I came out of it and all the butterflies, I literally was vibrating with the trees. The trees were talking to me. The trees were vibrating with me. I could hear them. I could literally feel their vibration from the gravel, from the trees, from the soil. Everything around me was in tune with me. And the crazy thing is my heart was beating so fast and so rapid. And it was like the trees calmed me. It was like I could feel it. All of a sudden, it was like we caught the same rhythm, if that makes sense. It's like my heart caught the rhythm of nature and we just started like vibing together.
Now that is powerful. That is super powerful. Let me see something. Okay, my screen paused for a minute. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right, we got another question.
I'm here.
They're coming in.
I say, what's love to me? I'll show you. Look on my wall. Love is everything. I have love in everything. Everything that I am is love. I approach everything from love. Even if I have an argument with someone or someone does something to me, the first thing I say is, what do I know about this person? Right? Are they kind? Are they good? And then how do I feel about this person? Because if there's somebody I feel like, okay, is it worth me continuing moving forward, or have our time come to pass and I can love them from a distance? But love to me is God. Like, God is love, and you don't have to agree. You just have to love people through it. And the people who need it the most are the ones who are acting a fool because they've been caught up by this negative energy that's using them. They don't know it. They don't know that this negative entity is using them to cause and wreak havoc. But you don't join in because now you're feeding it more. And you just got to do the opposite. And so when someone hurts me or does something to me, I pray for them. And I try not to be spiteful. You know, I'm a Libra, but, you know, my moon sign is Scorpio. So sometimes, you know, that Scorpion tail, honey. But, you know, I pray. Love to me is, it's like sexual energy. You know, people talk about sex and for me, they go hand in hand, you know, and women and men, you know, we come together in the way that our bodies do for a reason. It's so that we can share energy. And, you know, whereas with you and B, like, it's deeper than just the act. It's like we're portals. We are portals. And when you come together and you bring that energy together with the right person, like, listen, baby.
I've seen her energy in colors, bright colors, like you're saying, our energy connecting during the session.
I see aura. When I look at any photo of her, she has an aura and a presence about her that is so magnificent. Like, you're so blessed. She is just a diamond, and like that energy, it's which is one of the reasons why right now, you know, I've been waiting patiently, because I've tried it before, you know, going off of what this person may look like or what they may bring to the table or what like you may. It's strictly energy at this point. Like, if the energy speaking first, if I can't get past that, I don't care what else is happening. That energy better knock me off my feet, or you can't even get my number. No, you lay down with me, you're gonna be in some loony bin somewhere talking about why can't I get her. So it's you know. And that's because I didn't always know and understand my worth and my power, you know. And sometimes as women, as powerful women, you know, we want to be loved, we want to be in relationships, so we push down our magic because, you know, it's intimidating sometimes. But it's okay, you know, to be an alpha female, but you need the alpha male too. So when you out of pocket, you're gonna grip you up, grab you up, and quiet you down in the ways that only alpha male know how. You know what I'm saying? But we pick people and energies that we can overpower, and then we wonder why we're unhappy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Acquiesce, ladies. Acquiesce.
We got another one for you. I think this may be the last one as of right now.
No. No, I do not yet. My good friend.
I think it's time now.
My good friend Dina keeps telling me, you need to get a YouTube channel. But here's the thing about me that most people don't know. I talk for a living. I'm, you know, working, developing several businesses, been a project manager. But I am like, and you look at my Instagram, you would think like, this girl is so bold. But I am actually like one of the like kind of shyest people you'll meet. I'm an introvert. I like being by myself unless I'm with my family or my heartbeats, you know, my babies. So to be on something, to put my energy out in public, it makes me nervous. But I was like, Leon only had to ask me once. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it, because I felt that connection. And other people have asked me before, and I'm like, no, you know. But I knew this was the platform that that was waiting for me.
Absolutely. And the family, as you can see, is being well received. I'm not sure if you've been able to read some of these messages, but definitely people are definitely connecting and understanding what you're saying, and just like really feeling this. So I know a few people said they're going to reach out to you, especially about that retreat as well.
Yes, definitely reach out. And, you know, I do, you know, health and wellness coach. I also do energy coaching. So, or if you just, you know, want to talk about an experience, I know that's the God in me. That is my purpose, is to, you know, shed light and bring light to the collective. And so that comes with a huge responsibility. It's draining a lot of times, but I do it with honor and pride. And I'm always so grateful. Somebody want to listen to something I'm saying, like, thank you. You know, it just, I'm appreciative. Is if I'm
Absolutely.
No, it is not. There are, I mean, in the States, you know, with anything, people want to make money. And so they create synthetic forms of anything. But here they use the straight directly out of the toad, dry it, smoke it. Nothing's added to it. And you can vape it too. What would I say about a boyfriend leaving their girlfriend because they couldn't be strong? You know what I've learned, and I remember I tell this story all the time. I was in love with this guy. I was in love with this guy. He was young, a little younger than me. He's a lot younger than me, actually. I was like in my 40s. I was probably like 40, 39, 40 at the time. He was young. But I was like in love with this guy. And I remember like we just was going through it. And I just was trying to make it work. And I remember being on my knees, like, please, God, just make it stop hurting. Like, I don't want to feel this. Like, why isn't it working? And we reconnected recently. He happened to come through because it was actually his 40th birthday. And he came through from Vegas and stopped through to see me. And it was funny because I could literally hear a guy like saying, like, get up off your knees. He is not the one. But we just want what we want sometimes. And I always now, when, you know, when the divine moves someone from my life, allow it. Allow it. Because whatever's meant to be is going to be. I'm so good being by myself that I just am. And I'm by myself most of the time. I walk down the streets of Mexico. I draw a lot of attention because of the way I dress and the way I mean, chocolate girl in Mexico. I mean, come on, you know, but also the way I dress, it draws a lot of attention. I don't care. I mean, I'm used to it. It's the light. But like I tell people, you know, light draws, you know, energies to you, but it also draws parasites and bugs. Okay, so be careful of that light that you have. What's meant for you will come to you. You have to trust in God. If I remember when I was married, you know, I married my high school sweetheart. I have 4 children with this man. I got married a virgin. I never thought I wasn't going to be married. But, you know, he was more interested, you know, in bills, bitches, and bullshit at the time. And I love him to death. But, you know, I had to make a different decision. And so I never thought I would be single. I didn't know how to date. I met him. I was a kid. I was still playing with dolls when I met him, you know. So going through the whole dating game, it takes time to know who you are. It takes time to develop as a woman. I will never apologize for being me. I will never apologize. It's in my DNA to be great. It's in your DNA to be great. It is in your DNA to be great. And now, listen, most of the guys I dated back then, they couldn't even get my phone number. They couldn't even get me to glance at them. And there's no ego involved. Please believe there's no ego involved. I'm just saying where I'm at in my life right now, it's all the way up.
Facts.
You know, don't, you know what I mean? Either you fly with me or watch me from the ground, but don't get in my way.
Can I ask you a question, Empress?
Please.
How did you get in that space where you are right now with what you just said? Especially for the younger woman on her journey that may be on the show, or just period that may see the show.
Absolutely. And I'm so grateful you asked this, because it's so funny. I used to have a friend, and he was like me, male version, you know, and I've known him for over like 12, 15 years when I lived in Philly. And when I used to describe him to people, I'd be like, you know, he's cool, kind of weird, but he's cool. You know, that's how I would always describe him, because, you know, he was giving me alkaline water and, you know, making, you know, putting minerals, you know, angstrom minerals in the water, and, you know, wearing his crystals. And I just was not there yet. I just wasn't there. But he loved me through it. And surround yourself with people that you want to be like. And so if you want to make foundational changes and you want to be more connected, I'm a huge book reader. I live in Mexico, and anybody know, and I have a digital iPad and Kindle, but all my friends know, you come visit me, you better have a suitcase full of books, because I love to read books. One of the books that I just finished reading, I'll give you the top 3 that you should read. Black Gypsy, #1 on Amazon. Great book. Talk about journey. Somebody want to move tomorrow. You want to up and move to Mexico. You want to move and travel. Black Gypsy by Shauna Cherie. Journey of the Souls, which is a book I read. Amazing, because it talks about what happens to your soul when you leave your physical body before you go into another body. And then just start looking for books. And I have a whole list of books. If you hit me up, I'll give you a list of books. But start doing your research and start gravitating towards the things you like. And here's the thing that was one of the hardest things for me to do. I had a friend that I've been friends with for like 20 years. And you know how you have those people in your life, they're kind of like frenemies. You know, they like you, but behind the scenes, they kind of talking about you and not necessarily saying positive things. They're not really elevating and uplifting you. Get rid of them.
Facts.
And that includes family. Like, I can love family from a distance. If you're not elevating me, if you somebody that's bringing me down and sucking the energy and life force out of me, you got to go. And again, and I just tell them with kindness, listen, I'm on a personal growth journey right now, and I just need to, you know, make some decisions. My whole family couldn't believe I moved to Mexico. They're like, you got kids, you got grandkids, you got all this stuff and stuff. How you just up and move to Mexico? Black girls don't move to Mexico alone. I said, why not? I said, my kids are grown and they all have passports. I'm the Mimi that's gonna take my grandkids sourcing for crystals, you know, in Greece, and you know, and going to Italy. Like, I'm the Mimi that wear a bikini. I'm not knitting no sweaters, and I'm not baking no cookies. Okay. You know, I'm not Mimi, you know, so I've made a decision a long time ago that the rest of my life will be the best of my life. And with COVID, I've lost so many people in 2020, young. Listen, get out your own way. Whatever you want to do, no matter whether you got the resources for it, start writing it down. I'm a big believer in vision boards. I actually have all the stuff, and I'm supposed to be working on my new one because I haven't done one since 2017. But everything I've ever put on every vision board, and I did them with my children growing up. And that's something great to do with your children, because when you see it, you start envisioning it. The universe doesn't know the difference, and it'll conspire to make it happen. Everything I've ever wanted. I currently right now live in a penthouse in Mexico. I have a private rooftop with a jacuzzi across the street from the ocean. It is on my 2015 vision board.
Wow.
Okay. Manifest it. Do the work. Be true to yourself. Think what God wants you to do. You know, and my cousin's in here too. She'll let you know. She's been with me the whole way. When I was on crutches, I fell on a flight of stairs. I had 4 knee replacements in 5 years. The level of pain that I was in, I was suicidal at one point. And I just kept saying, I will meditate to the waves of the ocean. And I would just keep saying to my cousin and my daughter, like, one day I'm going to live by the ocean. One day, cousin, she in here, tell him, cousin. I used to say, one day, cousin, I'm going to live by the ocean. I'm going to live by the ocean. And now I live across the street from the ocean.
Speak it into existence. That just show you how powerful we really are. We just got to tap in.
And I stepped out on faith. When I came to Mexico, I was here for 8-9 months, not working. I was like, I don't care what I got to do. I'm going to figure it out. But I see all these expats here with laptops and computers and all these people. I'm like, so, and you know, I'm a people person. So what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? And I just started networking because I was like, whatever this is, I ain't leaving. And I meditated and I prayed and the universe conspired. And I've been here 3 years. I now have my residency.
Do you plan? How long are you planning on staying there for a while? Like for a long?
Keep this as my base. And because I was just traveling, I was in Europe, I was in Paris, Barcelona, Spain, Rome, Italy, right before COVID hit. I'm gonna keep this as my base because it's real inexpensive to live here. Like real inexpensive. My first apartment when I moved here was $200, and it was like cross the street from the beach. It's a little bit more in the barrio. So you have to speak Spanish up there, and I'm learning. But I definitely have, you know, I'm like George and Wheezy. I have leveled up. You know, when COVID hit, because I don't want to be out as much, because this is a travel destination. So because, you know, Americans can't go nowhere else because the U.S. passport, a lot of people come here. So I needed a space where I don't necessarily have to go out. So I can have groceries delivered. My patio is bigger. My rooftop is as big as my entire living space. It's huge. And I have hammock. I have lounge chairs. I have a hot tub. I have a view of the ocean. I can work out up there. I have a little small patio here. I have 2 pools on the first floor. There's 2 pools. So groceries delivered. Like,
say I'm good. Sound like you created a little bit of your heaven on earth already.
I have. This place was completely white walls when I moved in, and I completely did an HGTV on this bitch.
That's what. Hey, do it. Do it. Be present. Do it. Shit. We need more of us need to do that.
But you have the faith, and it's scary. And it's scary when you have people in your ear, whether it's a business or, you know how many times my daughter came up with business ideas years ago. She came up with all these different business ideas, and now I see them all popping. She was talking about natural makeup and all these different things years ago because she's ahead of her time. But, you know, she would just not act on it, you know, and now I'm just, you know, ancestors came through and like, listen, this is what we came here for. So the woman that was screaming at me about 4 months, 3-4 months after the Bufo, I'm scrolling through Instagram, just scrolling, and then I see the woman. And I started screaming. I was like, oh my God. I was like freaking out. It was a photo of Oya, the goddess Oya. And that's who was screaming at me.
Wow.
She favorite color. She loves the. I love anybody who knows me knows I love the thunder. I love the rain. So yes, that's who was my spirit guide was Oya, the goddess Oya, one of the Orishas. And I wasn't really Shauna, my who's in here with me, my dearest friend Shauna. She's all into it. So she has been visited by an Orisha before. I didn't even know about Oya. I didn't know who she was. Now, of course, I've read all up about her. Again, coconut oil, which anybody who knows me knows I'm like slathered in it. Like all the things that she loves, I love already. But that's who was screaming at me. This is what we've been waiting for. I mean,
wow.
And when she was screaming it at me, it was nothing nice. It was a scary voice, but it got my attention. And she's had it ever since. And like I said, I walk different, I think different, I love different, I pray different. And I tell people all the time, I think all melanated people, I think all people in general, but definitely melanated people, because you don't realize the trauma that's in your DNA from our history. It's in there, and it does impact you. And then you have children, and so you just keep these cycles going, and no one really understands how or why. You can break those generational curses. I have completely, even my kids felt it. They all said to me, like, I feel different. And only one of them knew I had did the experience, which is my daughter, who has the PMS bar. She was the only one that knew I had did it, because I didn't want them freaking out. Like, what the hell are you doing, Mom? What do you mean you're going in the woods? And, because my kids are always like, Mom, you're doing too much, So they all said they felt a shift. And all of our lives changed exponentially since then. All of our lives, our businesses, things are just like taking off. Everything that we've been wanting to do is just like all the dots, like, Shauna says, the breadcrumbs just lined up, and we were just able to follow the breadcrumbs. And it's just been manifesting, and God is so good, but you have to do the work. It starts with you. You have to have a daily spiritual practice. It's like anything else. When you wake up, you need, even if you're not in the meditation, just sit quietly for 2 or 3 minutes and pray. Just start with that.
Does that look like her?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Facts.
And
It sounds like to me I'm sorry.
No idea who she was. I had no idea who she was prior to. I'd never heard of her. Had never heard of her, but I knew if I saw her again, because everyone else in this whole experience were clear, except for my dad a little bit and the little girl. So I thought the little girl was me because I was a preemie and the little girl was little. So after this experience, family secrets. So I called up my oldest brother, and I was like, I did this experience here. And I saw my dad, and he was holding the hand of a little girl. What do you think that means? And he said, Mom and Dad lost a baby, a premature little girl, before they had you. And her name is Elizabeth. I didn't even know.
Wow.
And that's who was in the Bufo experience with my dad, was my sister.
It sounds like to me you've cleansed like your bloodline.
I did.
During this experience.
I feel it. And even my daughter, Ashley, she burned ancestral money, and she did some for the family. And I'm about to get emotional again, but she's the only one and the first one to burn ancestral money for my dad. And wow. She said the way that the colors and the light and the way that it burned, she said it burned completely different. And I feel that his spirit is free, and I feel that it never really was, because he left this situation as the monster in the story, but I feel my family line has been healed. I feel it. I feel it all the way down in my bones. That I was able to heal my ancestral trauma, heal my own, my mother's, my grandmother's, my daughters, my granddaughters. You know, when you heal yourself, you heal 7 generations of women before you and 7 generations of women behind you. And so it's important that we do this work. And that's why I want to do this work, because I really feel us, especially as melanated people, we need to take back our power. All these things that we see everybody doing, we was doing all of that before it was taken and stripped from us. It's inside of us. You know, these medicines, a lot of these different practices and things that are now mainstream, that was us.
Facts.
That's and they're monetizing it, and I ain't mad, but like we need to get our own cut. We need to start building our own businesses. You know, we need to start, you know, taking back that power and teaching our children, you know, how to grow your own food. You know what I mean? How to eat healthy, how to make juices with herbs and plant, you know, like heal yourself from the inside out. And trust me, I grew up, you know, y'all see me, I'm thick. I grew up, my mom was like cornbread, grits, you know, like, I grew up, my mom was one of them moms. We had cornbread every day, no matter cornbread, right? No matter what she made cornbread and rice. So every day I at least had cornbread and rice if I didn't like what she made for dinner. I don't like lima beans and stuff. So it's, you know, I was 11 years old and I was already like, you know, looking 18. So, you know, it's a reset, and it's not about what you like. It's about what you need. This physical body it's just like wearing a spacesuit. It's borrowed, but this physical body holds your soul and your spirit and your energy. You have to honor it and respect it so that you can properly be able to, you know, reach the God in you, so that you can connect with the divine and connect with source. You can't do that from an infested temple. And trust me, like I said, you know, some gravy. Listen, listen.
You know, grandma and them did their thing now.
Listen. Everybody had their own pan. That's how we got down in my house. Everybody had to have their own pan of biscuits. When my mom made pie, everybody had to have their own pie. We couldn't even share a pie.
Wow. You remember Martin on the Martin show when he used to be like, "No, my mama biscuits." No, my mama biscuits.
My mama biscuits. Listen. So I grew up eating in a different way, and as an adult and as a health and wellness coach, you know, especially if you have any type of inflammation, if you have any type of autoimmune disease, anything, asthma, a lot of that, it is all can be controlled, majority of it with diet.
Facts. Man, that might be another show I might have to tap into, because you just sparked something to me. That's true. Big facts. We got 4 more questions in here, Goddess.
Thank you.
We're gonna get these questions answered.
And what I use, I have a friend in Philly. She's on Instagram, and I'm so mad that I'm out of her shea butter. But I literally, when I say I scraped I used a spongy that you use for your face to get into the corners to get the last bit out. But she's out of Philly, and she has the best shea butter on the planet. My skin, people always ask me about my skin. I mean, I just turned 58 years old. Like, you know,
Did you say 58?
I just turned 58 in October. So
wow, you look amazing.
Thank you. It's the God in me. You know,
Absolutely.
I eat good. I eat real food. That's one of the reasons I live here in Mexico, because everything is from farm to table. Takes long to get stuff, but like the juices, I mean, there's nothing else in it but juice. You know, it's just everything is natural, so it's already organic. So it's just easy to eat better.
You give me Queen of Fool vibes a little bit.
Thank you.
I'll show you. All right, so we got 4 more questions. We're gonna get those answered, and then I'm gonna let you close us out with something you may want to share with the family and close us out. Is that good?
That's perfect.
All right, let's see what we got going. Can you see that?
The deity gap, I do not. I do not know anything about that particular deity. But I would say, you know, do your research. I do know some people that are very familiar with some deities. So if you hit me up, I can put you in touch with someone who could, you know, talk to you a little bit more about it.
Absolutely. Same here. If you need to know who, if you are interested in knowing who's on your head or on your foot or both, I could definitely, either one of us, we can put you in contact with some people that can help you figure that out. Absolutely. Let's see. Let's see.
Thank you for your kind words.
This is him again.
Do you think we will ever get back to the natural way of life as a collective? What is the natural way? You know, I think everything it needed to be broken. I mean, because it was like we were all on this gerbil wheel running in place, trying to collect things, not really paying attention. I mean, when's the last time, I tell people all the time, do you do mirror work? We brush our teeth every day in the mirror, but do you ever actually look at yourself? Or are you thinking in your head and going through the motions of brushing your teeth? Are you really looking at yourself? Most people don't. I catch myself doing it often. It's like you're not even looking at yourself because you're thinking, right? You have to be mindful. And we needed everything to break. We needed the school system to break. We needed the way we've been doing businesses. We needed the inequities. Everything needed to be broken so that now we can build it up so that it's better. And so that it's best for all stakeholders, just not for the 1%. But I do think we're going to get there. The individuals in this room and the individuals that are going to be continuing to, pass on the knowledge. Again, this platform, doing planetwiz, doing great things, him and B doing great things. That's how you do it. One person, like Tupac said, I may not, I may not, be the spark, but I'm going to start the spark. You know what I mean? It's the truth. Like, one person does make a difference. If you focus on you, your household, your consciousness, and you just pay it forward. And if everybody just paid it forward, in kindness. There's so many people I know here. People think I've been living here for 10 years because of the amount of people that I know. But it's just my nature to want to get to know people, want to know what people do, and I connect people. So, okay, you're a developer, you do website. Oh, you need somebody that, that's in artificial intelligence. Oh, like I'm like the Olivia Pope of Mexico.
I like that. So we've been on the show for 1 hour and 11 minutes. I just thought that was important to say that.
Thank you.
1 hour and 11.
I'm a life path 11. 11 is my favorite number.
So I had to throw that out there for you. But I can share a story real quick. I'll show you. Of mirror work or mirror magic. So one night I was on shrooms. I set some intentions about connecting with my ancestors and things like that. And when I did, when I looked in the mirror to do some mirror magic, I saw all my past lives. Like my face it just like metamorphosed to, like, I was big at one point to where I saw how I was. I had no beard. I was real small at one point. I was even white.
Wow.
I was even white at one of my past lifetimes, which I heard from a reader before. My wife was. We both were, because we've been together several past lifetimes. So
of course,
when I was looking in the mirror, like you looking in my soul, like it was just crazy because I could just see all my ancestors in me. I could see my face transforming. I could see my body transforming, and it was just like an amazing feeling. And when I got done, I came out of the bathroom and I came back into the other room my wife was, and I just started shaking my head like, it's on now, because I was getting downloads and getting clarity and connected dots. And she was cracking up. The other day she was messing with me. She said, I remember you came out, you was like, it's on now. So that's like a little inside joke between us. But I did want to share that because mirror magic and mirror work is very important. And you can use it something simple as just doing affirmations.
We get because it's just like people put the baby on top of the car and drive off, or the coffee, because you get so used to a routine that you don't even realize you're in a routine and you're not even present. And that's why I love little children. That's why every Friday I have a date night with my 5-year-old granddaughter. She just turned 5, and we Zoom and we talk, because children they're in the moment. They're in the present. They're not thinking about what happened an hour ago, 5 minutes ago. They're not thinking about tomorrow. They are literally in the moment. So if you want to know how to be present, be around little kids, because they are the best at it, because the world hasn't inundated them with, and built up the false ego and all the things. I am constantly reminding myself, like, I don't multitask anymore. I grew up in the era where you had to bring home the bacon and fry it in the pan. You had to be cute in the dress and breastfeeding the baby and washing laundry and doing hair. I grew up in that era. It's unhealthy to multitask. When I'm doing something, that's it. So when I'm eating, I'm not on the phone. When I'm cleaning up, I'm not on the phone. I'm cleaning up. When I'm washing dishes, I'm paying attention to the dishes. When I'm brushing my teeth, I'm talking to myself, hey, girl, what kind of day you going to have today? Eyebrows looking good. You looking kind of, you have to be in the moment, because otherwise you're in your head. And it's so easy. You wake up and be like, damn, I feel like I done did a 2-year bid. Like some people live their whole lives in their head, and none of it is true. Like, in this experience, I got to see, you ever hold a mirror up and you can see all those versions of yourself? That's what it's like doing the Bufo. You get to see all these versions of yourself, and none of them are you. So there's the version of me that you guys all see here. You've created a version of me. There's a version of me that my kids have, my work, all these versions. None of them are really Kimberly. I'm the observer. You're the observer, but you become all these different versions, and then you try to live up to it. You're that version for your boyfriend. You're that version for your parents, because you can't tell them the truth. You're that version for your job, because you got to wear that mask. And after a while, you wear these masks so long, you forget that you don't even know who you are.
Gotta stay present. That's huge. Gotta stay present.
Daily. Trust me, because sometimes I'll be like, dang, I was down for a couple hours. Like it happens so fast you don't even realize it. But that's why it's daily practice.
My friend just said, we talked about that earlier today, Wiz, and we did. We basically had that conversation earlier today. Absolutely. We got one more question in here for you, Goddess.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're doing it. Actually, we got 2, but you're doing a kick-ass job, by the way.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
On how to stop pushing people away that you care about, because of, I don't see that, like the second part, because of.
She says tips on how to stop pushing people that you care about away, that you care about because of trauma.
You know what? You have to deal with the trauma. Like, I met a gentleman recently. On paper, he checks all the boxes. And he was introduced to me from a friend. She was like, you got to meet my friend Kimberly. You guys would be great. But I told him, after talking to him, I said, listen, I would never consider anything serious with you until you had, you got therapy. Because he suffers from post-traumatic stress, and he has some other things going on. I've done the work on myself. When you do the work on yourself, and it's really difficult when you're in a relationship and you start working on yourself and the other person isn't, you change. And it's harder because you don't want to, you could become resentful, or they become resentful because you're different. But you know, I got married when I was young. I was like 17, 16, like, kid. So I didn't know anything about anything. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I was still playing with dolls when I got married. So, you don't even know your trauma. You don't even know that you have trauma. And most times the people, that you're dealing with, they don't know how to deal with your trauma because you haven't dealt with it. And so I think the best thing to do, instead of pushing them away, is to be honest and like, listen, I recognize, and I've had this conversation with several people at different times throughout my life. I recognize that there's some things that I've been through that I need to work on. And I can't be good for myself or for you or for this relationship until I work on it. And then you really have to do the work. And it's not fun, you know, pulling out those trauma thorns and pulling up old memories and things that hurt you and, you know, the scars. But what I'm here to tell you, you can't go around it. You have to go through it. And once you go through it and come out on the other side, you can look at it objectively and it won't hurt you the same way as it did as you keep stuffing it down. It's like stuffing everything in a hole. Eventually it's going to pop out, and it's going to pop out the person you love, and they're going to be like, what the fuck? Who is this person? You know, I've done it before. I listen. I've been that girl where I'm thinking I'm perfect. Like I've been married before. I've been a wife. I'm a mother. I knew how to go through the motions, but because I had never been in another relationship with another man, I didn't know how to be. And I hadn't dealt with none of my trauma from my growing up or from my marriage. So after the guy I was on the ground praying for. After that relationship, I took 3 years off, and I just really worked on every book I could find, every podcast, every seminar. I talked to people. I got into therapy. I started journaling, and I really just started working and being honest with yourself. You know when you're doing something screwed up. You know when you're not right. You know, and just being honest with yourself. And you're not going to be perfect. And just because I'm here today and I look like I have it all together, I do. For the most part, but there are days and times where I'm like, today is just not the day. You know, I might, you know, have a bad day. You still have bad days, but you get back on track. You continue the work. But if you want to have healthy relationships of any type, whether it's a relationship with a partner or a sibling or a child or a parent, you've got to do the work on yourself. And you have to know that they may not get there with you. And that's okay. You can only focus on you.
My wife, she was the reason what made me go within, because she started elevating. And I'm just being honest. I'm letting the ego out of the way. Man, you need to hear this shit. It is what it is. She started elevating. I mean, and she shot past me. And I was still in that same space. And it definitely was a gap. It was different. The energy was different. She wasn't the same person.
Right.
So therefore it was kind of like weird energy, because we had both never been in that type of space before.
Right.
But I had to put my big boy pants on, and I knew I loved her, and it forced me. I don't want to say forced because that's a bad word, but it made me see the light. But she did it the correct way, because she shined light and inspired me versus saying, hey, you need to do this, or barking orders at me. So that's what, and I knew I loved her, and that just made me go within. And then I came out and I said, all right, baby, I'm here with you. Let's go.
Exactly.
So now we just this is fluidity.
Exactly. And you can see it all over her. She is pure love, joy, and light. So I can see her loving you through it. And it takes patience. It takes patience.
It does. He asked her about it.
I know for me, like me and my friend, we used to bump heads. We were like oil and water. And he just be like, you don't hear me. And I'm thinking, I hear you. I talk for a living. Like, I get it. I was not hearing him. I just wasn't getting it. And understand why I wasn't getting it until after the fact, and I was like, oh, I understand what he's talking about now. You know, until you do the work on yourself, you can't really fully be present for someone else.
Facts. And this is beautiful. I can relate. You can relate. Pretty much everybody on here can relate. But the thing is, now when you hear other people tell you those stories, that's why you can never judge or never always encourage people, never look at other people's journey, because everybody's journey is different. So never look at Jack, Bob, or Cindy's journey, because their journey may be different than yours. But you just need to focus on yours, because you're going to get there, but you just got to go within. And it's a lot of people look at other people's journeys and be like, I want that, or I want this, or I want that, or I don't want this, or I don't want that. I always just encourage everybody just to go within, because you never can. We're all individuals. That's why we're individuals. Like you mentioned, we got different fingerprints for a reason. And I think a conversation like we're having now is what we need to have more of with our community and with our family, with our loved ones and our tribe. Because these type of conversations, I can tell you this right now, just because I know what I know and I understand what I understand. These type of conversations will continue to raise the vibrations on the planet for hundreds and hundreds of years from now, because it'll help people break generational curses. A lot of the stuff you were talking about earlier, it'll help people understand they got to heal themselves first before they go out there looking for a mate. Like, these are the type of conversations we got to have, and it's a must.
I had to have that conversation with myself. It's like, wait a minute, you got this checklist of things, and like the checklist of things. I mean, the person that you aspiring to have, they got a list too. And like, I mean, looking at the list, I was like, you know, got out my marriage, my credit. I mean, literally, my credit was like a laughing emoji. It wasn't even a number. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't even a number. It was literally the crying, laughing emoji was my credit score. Just being honest with yourself, where you're at. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got like a $90,000 car, you know, Mercedes Benz, and I'm charging my phone in it because my power is off because I forgot to pay the bill. Like, you know, because I grew up at a time where it was about acquiring things and not really making smart decisions. And I tell all these things, there ain't no shame in my game. I tell people all the time, I don't hold no judgment. I will snatch open this door and let you see all these bones roll out this closet. Okay? Deal with yourself where you're at, because people, just because it looks like everything is perfect, it not necessarily is. Just focus on your own goals, because what they may be showing you or doing, the Joneses, and trying to keep up, who cares? Who cares? But
wasting energy.
That changed my whole life. I mean, again, now my credit score is really nice, you know, my bank account is like really nice, but it took a lot of sacrifice, you know.
Blessings on blessings on blessings.
Yeah, blessings on blessings. When I left my marriage, you know, I had credit cards and things in my name, charge off things. I didn't know about any of this stuff. I learned after the fact, but I had to sacrifice. I took my lunch for a year. You know, I didn't have cable. I was like, I'm not doing cable. I like books anyway. That was $300 Comcast bill I didn't have to pay every month for to watch the same channel. Like, you have to be willing to sacrifice for the things in the life that you want. What are you willing to do? What are you willing to do for it? I don't care about no damn bag. You know what I'm saying? I had a storage right now filled in Philadelphia. I've told my kids I'm giving y'all to February because I'm about to have a sale. Because I'm not coming back. And it's, I mean, Phil, and I mean, before I left, I had a convertible Mercedes. I literally gave it to my friend, $2 grand. I was like, here, just give me $2 grand for it. Black on black. Gave it to my friend. I got a silver truck in storage, cash, paid for, silver, black interior, 50,000 miles on it. I'm never driving that car again. But I don't want to give it to one of my kids because then they got to keep the maintenance up. And it's an expensive car. I had just remodeled my entire condo before I got laid off. My cousin's in here. She'll tell you, all brand new furniture, top of the line artwork, Charles Bill. I mean, you name it. I could give a damn about any of it. You understand me? Like, the peace of mind that I have now, it's all got to go. I don't even want to pay the storage no more. Like, I told them, come February, y'all better figure it out because I'm going to do a sale, a giveaway, something, but it's got to go. I'm getting rid of the last vestiges of the things. I don't need it. If I need a car, I'll rent a car.
Right.
I have a bike. I bought a bicycle, regular old bike. It's downstairs in the basement. I hop on my bike for exercise. Like, I live here in Mexico. I can walk most places. I can rent a car. Like, I don't want to be beholden to things anymore. And back in the States, that was my life, you know. I had a summer Benz and a winter Benz and lived in a nice apartment, like, you know, and the clothes and the this and the that and the this and the this. But I was living check to check. You know what I'm saying? Like, any life event, and I would have been like, again, charging my phone in my luxury car. Like, we better than that. We better than that. You know, so I bit the bullet, started saving my money, downsizing, and figuring out and investing. And that was one of the smartest things I did because the company I was with, I invested 10% of my income for 15 years. So when they let us all go, 31 locations, girl had saved for a rainy day. Okay, so make smart decisions. If you're in these companies, you work for companies, get on a 401k. If they match, let them add to it and leave it. In 20, 30 years from now, you'll have over 100,000 or more in there just from, from saving. Don't touch it, and then work on your other businesses on the side. But you have to plan, or you just floating along like a feather in the wind.
Absolutely, Ashe. What would you like to close us out with, Goddess?
I just want to say, I thank you so much for your time. I thank you so much for hearing my story again. Like I said, most people who've known me all my life don't know some of the personal, my past traumas, things with my parents. But it doesn't hurt anymore. We're all free. It was a time and a place and thing that happened. But I just want to let you know that this worldwide fighting conflict that is going on, it is designed to keep people from ascension. Okay? Don't get caught up in it. Watch the amount of time that you are on social media and the news. You know me. If y'all see me, I post and I ghost. Like, if it's something else, again, like your show, I literally wanted to like lay in bed and watch it. I'm very intentional. I rarely turn on my TV unless I'm specifically watching something. TV is a time waster. Sitting on the computer is a time waster. If you got all this time to do all these things, you can be building something. You can be learning something. You can be teaching yourself something.
Ashe.
I got over 70, almost 70 books up in here, and I ain't been there 3 years because every time somebody come, they bring me books. I read 7 books in the past 2 weeks. Okay? Knowledge is power. Empower yourself to change your life. The rest of my life will be the best of my life. And whether that's whenever it is.
Powerful show, Goddess. Gratitude. Thank you so much for just blessing the family and sharing your amazing energy here with us tonight. Your knowledge, your wisdom, your experiences, your understanding, your overstanding, all of the above was just so on point tonight. And like I told you when we connected, I knew that you had some light to shine because your light is always shining. So thank you so much. Is this what I pinned? Is this how people can show love donations, send you love donations?
Hop on the pmsbar.com. That's my daughter's new business. Ladies, listen, if you're not on it, you need to get on it. The pmsbar.com. It's a mojo cocoa, help you, when you're on your cycle, but it also tastes good as hell, and it's pretty, and it's, divine ordained. Like I said, the ancestors came down, something she had created. And I got confirmation through the experience. When they showed me her, I cried. I couldn't wait to get home and tell her what the ancestors wanted me to share. And so support, the pmsbar.com. Hop on there, ladies, and show some love to my baby. Because anything I do, anybody who know me know, I do it all for my family. It's always about my family and the people I love and care about.
I'll show you. And fellas, you hop on there too.
Yeah, with you.
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
I said my cousin putting up my cash app. I cannot with you. I don't even.
There it is. There it is. I was waiting on that.
I love you, cousin.
So fellas, you need to hit up the website as well too, because you got mothers, you have sisters, you have partners, you have cousins. We need to take care of one another. Absolutely. And we will have her on the show too. We're gonna have her on the show too.
Oh, she's ready. And I want to thank you, kings and queens, for coming through. I feel your energy. Know that, when I pray for all of us. I pray for the collective. I call on my ancestors, known and unknown. I'll call on yours, known and unknown. If you knew how many ancestors walk, and I got to see it, and that's why I walk different. Because if you got to see the people that are supporting you, nothing would shake. I promise you, nothing would shake you. Nothing would knock you off your square. And if it did, you pop up like a weevil bomb. You'd be back up again. Okay, I have 4 knee replacements in 5 years. Some of the worst pain I ever felt in my life. But on today, You would never know it, because my ancestors walk strong and they carry me and they uplift me when I can't do it. And the divine has always had me. Know your power. Surround yourself with people that vibrate like you. Surround yourself with people that vibrate. You know, when you feel it, feel a little wonky with somebody, those are the ones you need to let go. And I don't care how long. I've had friends I've known for 20 years. And I'm like, it's been real. I wish you the best. Good luck with all your future endeavors. But I need to make a different decision. And then my friend you see in here, Dee Branch, I've known her since I was 7 years old. You know, she knows me. She could tell you. She's like, I've seen the difference in you. You are different. I said, that's the God in me. Again, I am not perfect, but I am perfect for God. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll be more than happy. But my family, my cousin Lori Labina, 2014, she been with me the whole ride. All 4 surgeries. She held me, when I say held me down, she held me down. She held me down like no other. Okay? When I tell you anything I needed, my cousin was there for me. Anything I do, it is not just me. I am surrounded by people that genuinely love and care about me. And anybody that doesn't,
peace. Type energy. Type energy. It just is what it is.
I tell people all the time, if I could leave you with one quote, protect your peace. Protect your peace. Protect your peace. And that's family, friends. My family know when anything good happens for me, the first people I'm calling is my family. Any opportunities I see, the first people I'm calling is my family. Anything good happen for me, the first people I'm calling is my family. Any business opportunities, the first people I'm calling. Because if we each did that, instead of worrying about, well, they $5 more than over at the Chinese store, so what? That $5 is going into your family's pocket or your friend's pocket. Stop. But you'll buy a $2,000 bag, though. Right? But you're crying about some $15 soap. Come on, y'all. Come on. It's time we do better.
Mm-hmm.
Time we do better. My doctor is Black. My dentist is Black. My nutritionist is Black. My therapist is Black. My friend, listen. Okay? Let's do this. If each one reach out and support a business, and when you have your business, you'll get that same kind of love and support. And no matter what that is, it starts from a whole you. Start from inside yourself. Heal yourself, heal your family, and then work your way out. All starts with you. Powerful.
Hey, with that said, guys, I really don't have nothing to close out with. I think you hit it up. You hit the nails everywhere. I mean, every nail that was sticking out around the room, you came around with a hammer and like banged all of them in. So I'm just like, when I let you off of the show, I'm just be like, hey.
I'm so excited. Thank you, guys. I was so nervous, but I prayed and I called on my ancestors, you know, because again, sharing something so public. But I knew, like I said, when I met you, I knew it was the right time, it was the right platform, it was the right situation, and I trust God, and I just thank you. I thank your lovely wife. I thank you guys for embracing me and giving me this opportunity. You guys, you both, your light field, your aura, your energy, everything about it is just so divine, and I'm just honored to be a part of it. And thank you so much for having me, and thanks everyone for all your amazing words and all your kindness and for caring about little old me and my Bufo story.
Absolutely. Well, look, I'll tell you this, and I'm gonna let you go. Tomorrow, because you just made me think of something, I'm gonna show you some footage. It's me. I'm gonna show you some footage, some spiritual stuff that's gonna blow your socks off.
Share.
Trust me. When you say our ancestors, I'm gonna show you some physical video footage of the ancestors.
Oh, I'm looking forward.
I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna hit you tomorrow. Trust me. It's gonna blow your mind. It's gonna blow your mind.
I'm ready. Give it to me.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Peace, everyone.
Peace and love. I'll hit you tomorrow.
Ciao.
Peace. All right, family. There you have it. There you have it. The goddess You see her Cash App down here. So the energy exchange, you know, love donations are always welcome. Love donations are always welcome. It's an energy exchange. That's all it is. Money is an energy exchange. It's a frequency. We just got to tap into it. Once you tap into that frequency, you there. You're flowing in that frequency. And we got to start tapping into that frequency, right? There are rituals and things you can do to tap into that money frequency as well too. So I'm gonna get ready to get out of here, guys. I appreciate you guys so much as always. You guys, Kimberly definitely brought the noise. Miracle Motion brought the noise, and she helped us raise the vibrations on the planet like we always do. Make sure you guys come back this Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have another dynamic guest for you that's going to help us continue raising those vibrations. We're just going to keep raising them and raising them and raising them and raising them. We're going to continue to heal together and grow together and build together. And y'all know the motto. Y'all know how we do. Y'all know how we do here. The Ascending Masters. The Ascending Masters, right? Remember, the universe agrees with a made-up mind. That's what I always end the show with. The universe agrees with a made-up mind. I want you to think about that, though. I know I say it a lot, and a lot of you guys hear it, but when you break that down, the universe agrees with a made-up mind. Stop playing. See you guys on Tuesday. Peace, love, light, positive vibrations. Make sure you hit up Lotus B. Renee for some Potion 19. Those that have Potion 19 out of town, y'all know how it's been going crazy right now with all the pandemic stuff and the mail and all that. Stuff will be getting to you real soon. Trust me. We didn't forget about you. I know the goddess didn't forget about you. Peace, love, light, positive vibrations. See you guys on Tuesday. Peace.